to West Virginia and Commonplace. Today's episode is one that I'm merely doing for the simple fact, there's this thing, perception and reception. Perception is the image that I'm going to give off, or the persona, or actually who I am that I'm trying to get out to the public and move around in the world with. And inside this podcast, the stuff that we all do here, that perception has 5 steps to it, or stages to it. And inside those 5 stages, when you're using those, and they are found on one of my Instagram posts, that definitely make sure you check that out. This perception is this thing that I've talked about so much, about how you build up your intimacy and different things with your audience. And certain things, even down to the color of a t-shirt you wear for a certain interview, or the certain way you have the light hitting you. That perception is what people gather. And what you get from them people, after they get the perception, is receptive. So, an example, and I had to learn this the hard way also. Early on in my career as a podcaster, I had some issues with people. I had a very, very short temper, because I always felt that everybody, no matter who it was, should be professional about being a podcaster. Well, as I got to do this, I learned that some people do this as a hobby. Some people do this as a self-care. Some people do this as a release from things that happen in their lives. So with knowing that, and being one of those people that I formulate my thoughts, I get real tight into what I'm doing, I learned that I can't be as serious with everyone that I am with some. Some people have the same type of mannerisms, and we fall from the same tree, and some people fall from the tree that's closer to the river, in my opinion. So, the next thing inside this is that after you built up this perception and all this other stuff that you want people to have of you, because we all want to be true and authentic, but regardless, people are going to think that we have some type of facade somewhere, because nobody is 100% who they are on the air and off the air. Because we have different voices, different comedic values, different things that we bring to the table outside of our podcast. So, with that being said, we go into developing more into how you're building your audiences. You're building your audiences with these intimate episodes where people learn more about you, and your actions that take place inside of how you interact with your audience. Be it the Instagram Live, the Facebook Lives, or anything that you do hobby-wise. With me, for example, where I play video games with my audience, or I do extra little things here and there. That's how I work with my audience. And that's what builds a certain perception. They know that I'm a video gamer. I love anime. I love pop culture as a whole. Do I dab into every little bit, everything? No. But I've got that built. This season, I dabbed into doing other type of genre episodes from podcasting, such as movie reviews, which we had a great success with those. We even did a true crime episode that shot through the roof. So I listen to the ideas that I get from people, and one thing you set up is you make a way for your audience to get in touch with you. Premium customers are part of an email list. I get more of their opinion than I do the other ones. And when I'm saying premium, I'm not talking about paid customers. I'm talking about people that want to interact beyond just leaving the simple voice message over on Verbal or over on Anchor. So, that's another thing to take into perspective. Try to gather up some type of mailing list or something so your audience has a deeper intimacy with you than just the DMs. Because the DMs are fine, but the DMs, people can send really hateful stuff or nice stuff, and then they can just erase it. I can unsend it and it's gone. So that's another level that you can build there. And this episode, obviously, is a behind-the-scenes episode. So once you got the perception worked out and you become receptive to what's coming back to you, what people see you as, that's a way to keep modeling what you're doing, and that's a way to strive for success. Either it's going to be you stay the same, or you change up a few things here or there, or as we say, evolve and revolve with your audience. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that I see so many podcasts with great potential and great this and that, but they become stagnant and go into pod fade for the simple fact that they don't look at the stages of perception. How are you projecting yourself to an audience? Just because you think it's your voice, it's more than that. It's the advertisement. It's the social media drive. It's the actual way you carry yourself outside in your local community where people see you and people that are on the local and listen to your podcast, because you never know how much information about your podcast gets on Reddit, gets into forums that you're not even part of. Like, and I'm learning this, like, I mean, it's always in the back of my head that there's a notion that there's other people that know about my podcast, but you never know until you look on one of those Reddit things and you see someone talking about your podcast, negative or positive, and you're like, man, I got this kind of grasp. That's why I always tell people, when you're an influencer and you have things, you're doing things and saying certain things, you have to be very, very careful in how you present yourself and how you do things, because you are representing more than just yourself when it comes to your podcast. You're representing a whole new entity. You're representing, I'm not going to call it a celebrity, but you're close enough to a celebrity. That's what you're representing. So, in this quick behind the scenes podcast episode, I really, this is for the podcasters. I really want you guys to sit back and think about what you're doing here and there. Because if you were doing things a certain way, those things work out and they keep going, that's fine. But if you get to a point where your numbers get stagnant or you hit a plateau, think about your perception.